back to Valley Boys TCG. Today we got some gameplay of Shoutmon vs Shoutmon. Shoutmon DX versus Shoutmon X7, a little past versus the present. So we got DX going first here on the left, and we got the DP boosting Shoutmon going into the Star Sword Shoutmon, which just gives us another card draw, helps us cycle a little more, and it's still treated as a Shoutmon, so it can still warp into the Omni Shoutmon, and then we play the tie, because this is more of an aggro build. What you want to do is build tall and swing in with it. Now, on the right side, looks like we do not have a rookie, so we just drop the Taiki. Kind of hard to see with the glare. So it looks like we take a Cross 7 to hand, and then we put a Ballista under the Tamer. So still no rookie, and then we just drop our Tamer to get the Ballistamon out. So now we got a blocker on board and try to choke at one, but we still have a tie in play. So we drop on the left, DX is dropping the Searcher Shoutmon to get a Shout and a Blitz. So it looks like they're going for the Blitz Omni and then the Omni Shout that'll allow us to warp up. And then we just do that. We warp straight into that Omni Shoutmon here. Passing over 4 to the Cross Hearts player. Looks like Cross Hearts finally sees a rookie. It is the Star Sword. Looks like we got opposing Star Swords on both sides. So these decks are very interesting because they're very similar in the fact that they're Shoutmon, but they're also very different because your DX is full aggro, swing in for multiple checks, where I feel like Cross Hearts is a little more control now, especially with Cross 7. And we see the DX going for the control route this time, actually, swinging. And it could swing either for security or over the Ballista. And I don't think it makes a difference either way. Ballista can still block it, so whichever way that was targeted, Ballista still goes down. And then we see a second warp here. Now we have another Omni Shoutmon. So Cross promotes up, puts the Z Greymon under the Triple Tamer. A Triple Tamer is a great little Tamer added to the BT11 format, and we see the heroes to get the 2 draw, the option to get 2 more cards, and then the Akari comes down, that lets the Rulu come down, and then minus DP, but doesn't really make a difference, but we get an extra card draw, get memory gain. So Cross Hearts is setting up now, and DX has some options here to get a little more aggro. So here we will be swinging for 2 checks, but it looks like they choose to swing the X antibody over the Star Sword since there's nothing that they can material save there. And then we see the Z Greymon, the old Z Greymon, come down on the left side here. And then into DX, which I'm assuming we just top deck that DX because DX's on evolution should have popped both those Digimon in play. And also they missed that should have only been a 2-cost Evo because it was evolved over a level 6, not a level 5, so it should only have passed over 2 memory. But they're getting 4 checks thanks to the 2 Omni Shout and the tie, all giving extra security boost. Now had they pulled that DX before they went into Z Greymon, they could have swung the X antibody at security, cleared 2, and then finished security and cleared the board going into DX. But it's alright, they have good tempo. Obviously DX has a really good aggro turn here. But Crossheart is ready to answer back. We see the Cross 7 coming down, and I believe almost the full cross requirements. I think we got 5 out of these 6 pieces here, so this is going to be a 3-cost Evo and some heavy damage. And on Evo, we're going to pop the DX and then swing over the X antibody to go the control route. Here we go. And then get the card draw off of that. Yeah, that is a big loss. And of course, the minus 2k to security thanks to the inherited Darulu. That Darulu inherited, I always forget. So it has piercing thanks to the Ballistamon, and then minus 2k to Darulu. That 2k security is something that I do forget in a one of these matches and I will bring it up. Unfortunately, I'm not that well versed in Crossheart as well as I am with the DX build, but it still doesn't affect the outcome of these matches. So here we go. Now, had DX swung and cleared security, this could have been game with an Aguni for game type situation, but it looks like we don't have the Aguni, it looks like we don't have the out, and there's still enough security to go. So, Fireball to draw 2, try to find the pieces, and it looks like we just dropped another Shoutmon. And unfortunately, this isn't the Searcher, this is just the one that gives the DP boost, so there's not much we can do with it here. So now Crossheart side, we took a Darulu to gain a memory. And looks like we're gonna trigger Taiki to play out. I want to say it's gonna be a cross 5 here, judging by the stack. Yep, we see the cross 5. And then we gain the memory, get the card draw. Once Crossheart sets up, it is so hard to come back from that because it just, once the Tamer's on board, there's so much craziness that can go in. So now, thanks to the Shoutmon, we've got Rush here, and oh, a Gaia Force first check, getting rid of that cross 7. That's a pretty big hit right there. The cross can does have material save, so we're going to save key pieces here. This is material save 4. And it looks like the Omni Shoutmon is going to go to the trash. And the second check does go through. Now, with the right cards, 2 memory here, there is still a chance that Cross can... Okay, so we see the Ballistamon come down. So now they got a blocker, and then just drop the Starmon, so it's like they don't have another key play, but we have 2 blockers on board now, Cross 5 and Ballistamon. So that's going to slowly lock out. And the Crimson Blaze, that is a good counter. Gets rid of those 2 pieces and gets rid of one of the blockers. So at the very least, we swing in with Star, see what the security is, nothing. And then the other Shoutmon can't really swing in now because Cross 5 is just there to block it. So all they can do is try to drop another Searcher. Really, we needed one more body on board to try to survive. And there's our DXs that we needed previous turns. So the DX build really needs to keep full steam and tries to end the game early. You see it just got out-controlled by the Crossheart, and here it should be able to go for game. Sparrow swings in, and it is a tie. And then Cross 5 for game. So on to game 2, and DX has to come in fast to keep this up. So we got Shoutmon with the DP boost to Star, gives us another card cycle, and then to the Greymon. That security plus Greymon is so good for this deck because, again, we want to swing in for all our checks. And here we see Starmon and Raising and just a Starmon hard played. So now Shoutmon DX is going to go for the search, and we see an Omni Shout, and that's pretty much all they can get. Here Crossheart pulls up, and here's Crossheart's thing. They don't have a Tamer set up yet, and they hit a Taikamiya. Now Crossheart, you kind of don't want to swing until you get your Tamer set up. So to save that Starmons from going to the trash, we see a Star Sword come down, which will Digicross with it and just pass over 1. But again, we do have a Memory Tamer thanks to that tie. And here we go to the Omni Shoutmon, and then the Shoutmon DX comes down, passing 4, but tucking another Omni Shoutmon. Now this has Blitz, and it clears the board. So we are attacking for a total of 5 checks thanks to 2 Omni Shoutmons, the Security Greymon, and tie all triggering. So we're swinging 14k, all 5 checks right there. That is the power of DX. When it gets its perfect stack early, it can clear out. And because Crosshearts did not have any sort of Tamer set up, they lost all those resources. So you see the Ballistas coming down to try to get some blockers to prevent the game ending here. But all they have to do is they drop a Crimson Blaze. Since they were at 4 memory, then that clears the blockers and lets DX swing for game. A very, very quick game 2. So that was a very bricky game for Cross 7. And here we see it could be a slow start for DX. Ooh, that reveal basically places all those rookies to the bottom of the deck. That's not the greatest start. So they use a Searcher Shoutmon to grab another Searcher Shoutmon. This could be a sign that DX is missing pieces. Cross gets that Sparrow to start off. And then drops the Akari, but it looks like there's no Darulu to go with it, and they decide to just drop a Starmons just to get some board presence. Since they do have a Tamer they can save under now. And we see these Shoutmons drop another. Oh man, that is a horrible. We get another Shoutmon, but we bottom deck so much and really get no big gains off of that. Swing into a Ballista. It goes down, and then they just drop the tie. So clearly DX is missing pieces. It doesn't feel like it's building the way it was the last few games. Sparrow swings and survives. Starmon swings, and that should die and get saved under the Tamer. And now we see the Taiki come down. And that's going to enable some big plays now. So what do they want to take to hand? That is the question. Looks like they saved the King version, Shoutmon King, and then grab the Zendro to hand, and then they just drop him on board to get, yep, they get the Ballista, gain a memory, get the card draw, and already it's looking like Crossheart has the better tempo and the better setup. We're seeing a Shoutmon swing in, dice to a Star Sword. Other Shoutmon swings in, and Crossheart chooses not to block it. I think Crossheart's letting them through to see if they can get access to another Tamer. Maybe the triple Tamer and security is what they're hoping for. We see the desperate Aguni early play just to try to get some more cycled card draw, and then we draw. Here we go. We Evo into the X Antibody, which does have Blitz. So they choose to block it, and now it does not look good for DX. DX has an exposed Digimon there that's suspended. If Crossheart has the cards, they can go into something to swing over. And we see Sparrowmon go down to security check to an Omni Shout, BT11 Omni Shout. And here we see the Cross 4 play, but unfortunately they don't have the correct Shoutmon. That's the King version being used for this Digi-Cross, but at the very least they get the 2-card draw, 3-card draw with the Akari, and the 1 memory gain thanks to the Zendro. So we're getting 1 from Akari, 2 from the Cross 4, and then here we see a Cross 3 come into play. And it looks like they did get the correct Shoutmon this time, so they can swing in. They're getting the Cross 3 play, getting them another Shoutmon that they need to continue the loop. This is where Crosshearts can just, mid to late, it is so hard to come back from. If they can set up just a little bit. Swing into security. Let's see what they check. It is an Omni Shoutmon. Looks like all the Omni Shoutmons that the DX was looking for were in security. And this is where there's a bit of a mistake, because that Darulu should have put minus 2k to security, making that 7k Omni Shoutmon security a 5k, and therefore Cross 3 should have survived. But we see the material save, and it really doesn't make a difference. We see the Sunrise Buster come down. That is going to let them play another Taiki here to get the search, and it will do all the minus DP to basically clear board on the DX's side. And you see that Crossheart obviously has Cross 4 in play, and they have a Sparrow in raising, so they can go ahead and swing at least twice next turn. And there's not much DX can do. The DX build does not run any blockers. So we just see a Greymon finally in raising and a Tamer finally come into play. But this looks like it's going to wrap it up for us here. Crossheart should take the game. Swinging in security, unless they hit some sort of removal that'll get rid of Sparrowmon. Doesn't look like it. We hit a Mon. And Crossheart will take the game. Very close one. Unfortunate for the brick for DX. But hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay, and we'll see you in the next one.